Number 1. Hardened construction foam. Conclusion. Failed. Test number 2. Sandstone and sand base. Conclusion. Failed epically. Test number 3. All Obsidian. Conclusion. Success. Test number 4. All reinforced stone. Conclusion. Success. Test number 5. Basalt Brick. Conclusion. Failed. Test number 6. Combustion engine on a cactus. Conclusion. Hilarious. Hey there guys, and welcome to Velerious Tekkit. In this episode, what we'll be looking at is, as you can see here, I have 3 HV transformers into 1 MFSU that is currently at 0. This ugly looking building over here is the cheapest powerhouse you can afford without the combustion engines doing anything bad. So as you can see here, it's the Combustion Housing Centre, authorised entry only. Well, I am authorised, so I'm off in. We have our combustion engine number 1, number 2 and number 3. Now, despite the name, what you'll notice is I actually have 2 combustion engines in each compartment around here. And for this quick experiment, I will be showing you how to set them all up so that you will be receiving oil and water in the combustion engines. I'm still using the redstone waterproof piping here, which will ensure that your combustion engines don't just blow up. They will only be powered by that, nothing else, so we'll have to get the water in there first. Now, the next few things before we do this I want to explain is these over here. We have 3 of them. Now what these are tiny little water platforms, the kind I like to build. You have 4 redstone engines around a pump and it brings it out into there. You all know how to set up a pump efficiently. Now, the other thing that you may not know is a pump with 4 redstone engines going at maximum capacity into this waterproof teleport pipe will only bring enough water for 2 combustion engines or 3 combustion engines at a push. Personally, if you're using this, you want to get a pump for every 2 combustion engines. It will ensure that your combustion engines will be 100% safe, and it also means that if you're on a server, you will not have any kind of issue with them and they won't just blow up all your things. So what we're going to do is, first, we're going to turn on these here. Now these will be piping fuel into our combustion engines for us. And I've set one up behind each combustion engine, so we can just quickly nip in and switch every one on so it will get it. Now this is not exactly the best way to do it, because as you notice they're all coming from frequency 3 and the pipes are still messing up as you saw them. But it should have enough at the moment just to pump through a little bit of fuel. Now fuel will keep your combustion engines running at maximum power for 16 minutes, which is roughly about the time it takes for a combustion engine to explode. If you want a more precise kind of indication of how long the fuel actually runs it for, you will have to look on the wiki, or I will post in the description the exact running time of a combustion engine on fuel. Which change this back to $. So the first thing we're going to need today is redstone torch, because we're going to start up these. Now the first thing we need to check is if our pipes on the top are turned to true, which, yeah, they all should be turned to true. Now, this is quite a small little powerhouse, really, and I would recommend it because of the fact that it's nice and easy to use. So all these are untrue. I think I saw one that's connected by 0, which is rather weird. We'll have a look at that one. Yeah, there we go. So that one's not on the right frequency, but that one is. So this here just needs to quickly switch to 22. Now, what will happen is, these combustions will receive water from the ocean, and once the water has filled up the combustion engine, it will backlog in the pipe here, causing the redstone to start the combustion engine. The combustion engines on a waterproof redstone pipe will never get above green. I don't know why, but I've never had one above green when it's on a waterproof redstone pipe. So we're going to quickly start up all our little water wells over here. The only problem with this is I would advise you straight away to get water from a far off place, not anywhere near your buildings. The main problem, as I highlighted in the last one, is that having a pump will rape the water. Having 3 pumps will cause massive effects to your water. So they will be slowly piping up water now as the redstone engines pick up pace and passing it through there. Now the combustion engines should not start until they receive a redstone pulse. And the redstone pulse is obviously going to come through this redstone pipe here. Now one of these should actually be receiving water, these here. So they've got a little trickle of water in there at the moment. So I'll probably do a clock swipe in a minute to when these are actually full. Or, in fact, we can go look at what you just saw. What you just saw was about 2 minutes worth of footage, maybe 3. And it was combustion engines blowing up in different types of buildings. Now, someone suggested to me about Basalt Brick, and immediately it came to mind that I could do a test chamber in this. The Basalt Brick can actually withstand TNT and a creeper. It's extremely strong, unlike its cobblestone friend. The same as construction foam, really, but Basalt Brick did not stand up at all to our combustion engine. The construction foam did stand up a tiny amount, so you'll probably need a house that's at least 2 wide if you wanted to make it in construction foam. Over here was our sandstone and sand, of which everything was detonated. You'll notice that the door is missing as well. It didn't destroy the door, it destroyed the block under the door, meaning that the door popped off, and obviously I have item drops disabled since our last fiasco on this server, so the door disappeared. Over here we have our obsidian. Now obsidian is extremely cheap to get, extremely easy and everything, so I wanted to show you kind of obsidian house working with it, and it will not explode your obsidian. Your obsidian is strong enough to withstand the combustion engine, as is reinforced stone. Reinforced stone is extremely expensive to come by though, and it'll take you a lot of stuff to get it. It's the stuff that you make for nuclear reactors, and that's about it really. So you've got that there, and basically I wanted to show you today that an obsidian house is your best bet. Now I did have, if you look here, a reinforced door here, a reinforced door in front of each combustion engine, and on the roof I've got reinforced glass. Now the reason for this, you don't actually have to do it yourself. You can put a 2-layer thick on the roof and put glowstone there, because the glowstone will be utterly destroyed by the combustion engines, but the obsidian behind it won't. I have reinforced glass because reinforced glass will not be destroyed by the combustion engine when it explodes. And obviously these reinforced doors are the only doors that will not be destroyed either. Iron doors it will blast straight out of, wooden doors it will blast straight out of, reinforced doors will not. So it is quite expensive to get the reinforced doors, but those are the only part that you will need. The reinforced glass, as I say, is a luxury. You can put glowstone there, but as I've said before, these combustion engines should not just immediately blow up on you. There should be no reason for them to do that. So you shouldn't need to worry about that at all. Let's go check on our fuel demand, shall we? So our fuel's coming in quite nicely. It seems to have stopped now and slowed down a little. But at the moment, you saw there was quite a lot in there. Now, 1 bucket of this will just last 16 minutes. So all the fuel we have in there will last quite a while. And what we've got this linked up to is here, which these HV transformers will usually convert the power coming into them into, I think it's around 512 EU per tick, which will go into here. Now, it depends obviously the server you're playing on and everything for like how much energy you will get from this. But just as kind of like a little example, what you could then have is a power cable coming out, going into an energy link, and then you can teleport your energy anywhere that you want it, so that instead of using combustion engines far away, you can make yourself one of these little places, which is your powerhouse to power your MFSU that will then be placed everywhere else. Now, the MFSU has no power in it at the moment because these stairs are really dodgy, because obviously these still have some water left. These pipes will make sure that your combustion engines do not start unless the combustion engine is filled with water and the pipes are also backlogged with water, which is quite rare to have, really. Usually you need 4 of these on red, and they will immediately just fill out for you. Well, red or orange. I believe orange is safe and red is actually not as good, even with redstone engines. I did do one comedic attempt of placing a combustion engine on a cactus. The reason for this was, really, it was just so mind-numbingly dull to have all those explode. I did a similar test over here, because at first I wasn't sure about Basalt Brick. So I did a test just to see if it would work. If it would, I would have left it and just explained it to you. But as you can see here, it blew a hole in everything. So I immediately thought, well, I may as well put that in, because people on the wiki have suggested using construction foam, which construction foam, as you saw, got detonated. They've suggested using Basalt Brick, which, as you saw, got destroyed. But I don't see many people actually suggesting using Obsidian or reinforced stone. So I thought, well, why not do that? You can also make a cage out of reinforced glass. I did have one, and it was just over that hill. I think I took it down. Yeah, I did. It was just basically over there. And there was no explosion on it. I also have one all the way back up at the combustion setup over there. But we're not flying over there because it will take ages to go over. So let's go see if our combustion engines have started up now. They have indeed. So now their water is absolutely full, and this pipe is backlogged here. It means that the combustion engines will be receiving a redstone pulse and will start to generate electricity into here and send it through the teleport pipe. The teleport pipes will come through here into the HV transformer and will slowly fill up our MFSU for us. Now, as you can see, the power is not absolutely fabulous. However, if you're going to make an obsidian structure like this, you could probably design it a lot better than I have. I have, at the moment, 6 combustion engines, and they will be powering off fuel for quite a while. If you created yourself a refinery using the water strain technique to get rid of all the water, and you had quite a few bits of oil going in there and everything, you could have a massive amount of fuel just waiting to be turned into EU. We've already got over to the... My mind has just gone dead then. We've got to 115,000 right there. I was looking at it then thinking, is this 10,000 or 100,000? Seriously. My mind has not been with it today. In other news in my life, I have actually got a work experience placement now, which is quite nice. And I will be going on holiday soon, so I probably will not have videos up while I'm on holiday, which is a bit of an issue really. I'd like to actually get videos up and getting up there and, you know, getting at least every 2 days or every day videos up. So this episode was basically to show you how to house your combustion engines. And as I've said now, your cheapest combustion engine housing system that you would want to use is Obsidian. If you don't want to use teleport pipes and you want them to go out the side, I would probably put Obsidian around them for, say, 2 blocks forward or so. Just because when it'll blast through, it will blast through your pipe and come out the side as like a little bit of a blast. So you will need to put like a little bit of Obsidian just around that, just to halt the blast. But these combustion engines here will not explode. Now I can leave these on for days on end and they will never explode. Unless the water runs out, of which they won't explode because this backlogged water will then be drained into the combustion engine, and after being drained into the combustion engine, this water will basically not be here, it won't be backlogged anymore. So the redstone waterproof piping will stop sending a redstone pulse and the combustion engines will stop until more water is being sent into it. But this is the kind of thing that you'd probably build on a server if you, say, wanted to power a quarry or something. And our MFSU now is up to 250,000. So it's not a bad little energy input. We've not been doing this for that long at all. So it is quite a nice little way just to get yourself some energy, and it's cheaper than obviously building yourself the big things. The big things being you can have a nuclear reactor such as this, Now, a nuclear reactor is extremely unstable unless you know how to work it well. If you know how to work a nuclear reactor well, then it will probably not be as unstable, but I'm fairly sure that no matter what you do, a nuclear reactor can be unstable, and most likely at some point it probably will be. Combustion engines obviously can be unstable if you don't know what you're doing. As I showed you in the first episode, and we revisited last episode though, these combustion engines, when they're wired up to these, will just keep running. They will not have any problems. If you're still in doubt about all this working and everything, you can house it in an Obsidian house like this. You can turn off here, turn off here, turn off here. The other thing that I would say as well is you're probably wondering why I always put my pumps in the ocean and don't just use like an infinite water pool. Now, an infinite water pool sometimes fails on you when you're on a server. Because of lag and other things working on everything, it'll just take one block and then quickly nab a second before it can refill and your infinite water pool is destroyed. On fast servers, you probably won't have this effect, but a server that's, say, home-based, and there's quite a few people on it, you will have that effect. So I recommend using the ocean. The ocean will not drain out. You will get quite a lot of water loss and everything, and if the effect does come that the ocean does drain out, you can put pumps elsewhere, but I have never had an ocean drain on me completely. Now this is of course just a little bit of a river, really, and the river could be a bit of a flaw. Also, I started placing on my old server, the pumps used to go underwater, so they'd be on the ocean floor, and I presumed that it would take it from the ocean floor first. It doesn't. It will take water from the top, and you'll come back to notice that water on the top looks dodgy, even though your pump is all the way down at the bottom. So you'll just have to watch out for that. But while we've been talking now, we're almost up to 500,000 energy on our MFSU. 500,000 energy is easy enough to power a quarry. A quarry would require at least 2 combustion engines running on fuel. I believe that is the fastest you can make a quarry go, like this quarry we have over here. But this quarry obviously is powered on a HV solar array into an energy link into the quarry. There you go. HV solar array, which goes into our MFSU here, and it has such a backlog that means when it becomes night that this will run during the night as well, and we'll be able to take everything out. That ticking. I forgot about the ticking. But yeah, it's nice, it's simple, and it's something easy to set up. If you had a lot of combustion engines, as I say, you could set this up at the same kind of level and everything. And using the waterproof piping way, it wouldn't destroy it and wouldn't remove your quarry or anything like that. That is the best thing. But of course, if you want to do it the extremely safe way, then yes, you must make sure you have somewhere to house your combustion engines, which will be an obsidian fort, in my mind, or you can use reinforced stone to make it look far more professional. After it's in your obsidian fort, all you have to do is, precaution number 1, make sure that one pump with 4 redstone engines only has 2 combustion engines as the output. Precaution number 2, make sure you use waterproof redstone piping. This here will make sure that it's like a cut-off valve. When the water is not backlogged here, so your water source outside has run out and is not sending any more, it means that this here will stop, and it will stop your combustion engines for you, which is what you need. Believe me, it will save you so much hassle in the long run. Precaution number 3 will be mainly to just keep checking on them every now and then, but also have them in kind of like a little place far away, with a sign like I have, Combustion Housing Centre, authorised entry only. Just put like your name there and say don't mess with them or whatever. Then when you go in, label them with what you want, so that say if you've done something risky, like Combustion Engine 1 and Combustion Engine 2 actually had 3 combustion engines of pumps, at least then you know, because you'll know Combustion Engine 1 has 3, and Combustion Engine 2 has 3, but Combustion Engine 3 would only have 2. I would say try and stick with 2 if you're going into an MFSU. I used to go with 3 all the time, and I think the only difference is that 3 looks like it does the exact same as 2, but it might just add that tiniest bit of extra energy, which in my mind is not really worth it, because if those combustion engines in there did blow up, they will take out all your piping, and they'll take out each other. If this one went up critical, it'd blow up this one. But as I've said before, with these, if that one went critical, that would shut off, and this one would just keep running with the water it has. So what I would say to you is try and keep with the kind of 2 idea here, because in the long running it means that you'll be able to fill them with water sufficiently, and everything should be nice and fine. And you can see they're green now. If I set a combustion engine up this way, I don't usually get it turning any other colour than green. It'll turn green, and for the next, say, 600 Minecraft days, it will still remain green and run 100% of the time. So it is extremely efficient, but of course, if you want it to go higher, then you're probably not going to have that much water in there. You want it to just be kind of getting water every now and then, or maybe turning on and off would turn it into blue again for you. And we'll probably end this episode when this MFSU gets to 1 million. Just so kind of a quick word about what I've been doing on the server. Not much actually since you last came on, got to admit about that. This house over there, I've promised I'll do an episode on that. I will do, because we'll be going over retrievers instead of using transponders for chests, which a retriever works in the same way as kind of like a filter, really. A retriever takes in stacks 64 from any chest that it's actually linked to. But we will be going over that. If you're interested in it, then you'll probably tune in next time now to have a look at how it works. So I said we'll wait till 1 million, but it's taking a bit of time. If you look though, you can kind of see it going up with, there'll be 1,000 and then 500 extra and then 500 then 1,000. And it'll just kind of fluctuate like that because it'll be 1,500 EU that'll be going in there basically. And that's quite a nice little bit of EU to have. It's better than most things that I have. And do remember that if you build things like this on the water, there is always the chance that it can actually destroy your ocean. If you're playing on single player or anything like that, you shouldn't have enough lag to destroy it all. So it's quite nice if you're playing on single player to just put these where you want, or with infinite water or anything like that. It shouldn't destroy it if you're playing on single player, you'll be absolutely fine. However, always remember that on a server, this will not only destroy the ocean, but if you try and use infinite water, I had a friend who did it. Most of the time, it just kept running out repeatedly. He tried putting a world anchor there and everything, and it would just keep running out because the infinite water seems to be glitched at the moment. I don't think it's glitched so much as the lag on the server was causing the water blocks to not refill as fast as they should have done. And this, of course, caused a problem. That derp squid just came out the floor then. What the hell? So yeah, I hope this has been an informative episode for you, and I hope you like kind of all the effort I put into basically testing all these, because literally this took like an entire night to go through the combustion engines and watch every single one to make sure that when it blew up I actually had it on footage. I added some extra bits in of when they were blue, when they were green, when they were red and such, because of the fact that I wanted you to know that I have not been cheating. All of this has been done manually, but obviously in creative mode manually. And I've not got an idea on how you speed up things. I will admit this now, I did have a bit of a dabble with dark matter pedestals and the clock of flowing time, in which case this should speed up engines. So if we take out this and put you in there, it should speed this up. I don't really notice any difference, in all honesty. Maybe it speeds up just a little bit more, but yeah. If you wanted me to go over the dark matter pedestal, how they work, and how you get like items on there and everything, because at first I couldn't figure it out. I was like right clicking and I couldn't figure it out and everything. And it wasn't until afterwards I realised that you have to shift, go over to it, click, and there's your watch your flowing time. And if you right click, it will turn it on and off, and it has to have a redstone kind of input. Well, as far as I know it does. I set them all up with redstone immediately and it just worked, so I just went with that. Sorry, that was quite amusing. Okay. I didn't know you could put redstone on them. Oh yeah, look. That's quite a nice little, oh, can we, ooh. I don't know what that does. Probably nothing. I do know that there is a few things in Tekkit that if you apply like a redstone touch to, they will work faster. But yeah. These are still going at green now. So I believe that's everything that I really wanted to tell you in this episode. As I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. Don't forget to leave a like, a favourite, subscribe, anything that you feel like. I will be making a few more Tekkit videos and still working on what kind of series that I want to bring out, because I prefer to go into a series than just keep going on with Tekkit, but I do have quite a bit of knowledge with Tekkit, and I just think that if you have this information, that it will be a lot easier to have me explain how to set up a combustion engine in an Obsidian house, set up with waterproof pipes and everything, than trawling through the wiki to look like at combustion engines and then at Obsidian if it can withstand a blast and all that kind of pointless information. So yeah, I'm Velerious. See you next time. Bye!